everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Tara Arnold, and tonight I'm going to be consciously channeling Ascended Master St Germain, and this is a part 2 from our last video. So the last video, St Germain explained what's going to happen in 5D if you choose to create your own reality in the year 2026, and in this video he's going to be explaining what the world's going to look like in third dimension on the planet from where everyone's vibrating right now. So we'll see what he has to say. So the first thing that St. Germain is showing me is that in 2026, if you are in a third dimension perspective, if you're living in a third dimension reality, you will notice that things intensify because we're going to the next level of deception. Everyone on planet Earth, their spirits want to awaken, and it's going to get louder if you haven't started the awakening process. Some people will choose not to start the awakening process, but they'll just find that their reality is a little bit more difficult. They'll have more struggle and more suffering, and that the energies are going to be intensified in the sense that Mother Earth is always offering two frequencies. She's saying, would you like a fifth dimension perception or a third dimension perception? Because I have both worlds going on right now, and you can choose. The people that are choosing the third dimension perspective, the energies colliding of the fifth and the third, as Mother Earth offers this, is stronger and intensified this year of 2026, because we're going into this new 9-year cycle. It's just going to intensify. So you're going to notice that accidents happen quicker, that energies collide faster, causing more friction, causing, like, it's fast energy. So if you're having road rage, for example, and you're choosing a third dimension perception of something's happening to me, it's not happening for me, this person is upsetting me on the road, and I'm going to be angry. And you're going to notice that anger is going to fire more frequently and faster, so that there's like faster, quicker collisions or accidents. It's coming as a surprise to some people in third dimension how quick their reactions are causing an outcome of disaster or collisions or suffering or struggling in third dimension. So for all of you that are watching this channel, you're awakening, you're on your awakening journey. Just choosing a fifth dimension perception will keep everything a lot calmer. And so if you're out on the highway, for example, and there's people in the reality having a third dimension reality, getting road rage and upset and angry and throwing that energy really fast and furious, you don't have to stay in that. You can move to a fifth dimension perception. So that's all he's saying, is that it's going to be going to a deeper level of deception in every area on the planet. So in every structure, in every system, you're going to be able to see a deeper sense of the lies, a deeper sense of distortion. There's going to be more confusion about what's real and what's not. AI system is helping with that, because people don't know if a video is made up from AI or what's real. Or even when things come out in the news, a lot of times there's removal of actual evidence of truth, and there's a replacement of lies put into the news, and everyone's getting really tired of that. And so you're going to see a deeper level of it. And he's showing me that the children on planet Earth are going to start speaking up and giving obvious statements. For example, to their parents, they would say, you know, they're out grocery shopping, they might say to their parents, he's showing me, it's like, why is there an organic section? Shouldn't all the food be healthy? And why are we going to school if we can get harmed at school? Would you go to work if you could get harmed? Like, they're going to start to question why things are happening, and to give the awareness to parents or to that somebody that's really asleep. So you'll notice that during the year of 2026, there's going to be a lot of aha moments in your relatives or in family members or friends that have been asleep for a long time. They're going to start to question reality and question things and kind of have an aha moments as their spirits trying to wake them up. As for the fear of things like a third world war, I'm still not seeing a third world war. And St. Germain's saying the reason why is because the wars are chosen by everyone on the planet on a soul level. And for the awakening, he's showing me it wouldn't be as beneficial to awaken to have a World War III, because then everybody goes into a deep fear where there's places on planet Earth that people have risen out of that frequency of fear already. So it's like detrimental to bring back that same amount of fear. But he is showing me there are some countries that the leader in the country will make everyone fear that there is going to be a World War III. So he's showing me that there's some world leaders that are wanting to keep their people in their country scared, so they'll drop hints that there's going to be a World War III, or they'll drop hints that they're getting their military ready, or they'll drop hints that there's going to be a lot of friction with other countries. But then behind the scenes, there's a lot of lies, and it's like there's a joke going on with the world leaders. Like they're not telling the truth about everything, because he's showing me all the world leaders, and what they want is more of their comforts and luxuries and more peace, in the sense of when they own businesses or invest, they don't want those collapsing. So it's like about them and what they want in their own family or in their own reality. And if there's like a World War III, all of them have to do a lot of responsibilities with that. And it's like, oh, I don't want all this responsibility. It's tiring. It's going to end a lot of my comforts that are in my reality right now. I like being comfortable. I like vacationing. I like to travel the world and see things and take my children places and have vacations. But if there's a World War III, that's going to stop a lot of that. So they personally don't want it as like a collective of leaders. And so a lot of it is like, he's showing me not truth or lies, or let's just give everybody a good show and let's keep everybody scared when there isn't really fear. Let's pretend there's fear when there's not. And so what's the gift in this is that it's helping people to awaken, because they're bringing up past lifetimes of all these fears that there's going to be like a World War III. I'm not saying that in the future that can't happen, but at this time, as a collective energy, and St. Germain taps into like over the next 3 months, like where we're vibrating at now, he's saying that as a collective consciousness, nobody's wanting a World War III. And so he's showing me that that's not going to happen right now. It could change in the future, but as of right now, collective consciousness, that wouldn't benefit them. There's too many. He's saying that there's too many luxuries or too many things at stake. Like it's just going to drag them into the old. And it's not the old they want. They just want to keep you in the fears of the old. But in their own reality, they want to have the comforts. But he is showing me like different areas around the world that are having wars. Like Ukraine-Russia war in 2026, I'm seeing like September, October, that war ends. But I think it might have something to do with, he's showing me like Putin, something happened with Putin. That's where it's vibrating right now. That's what I see right now. Again, it could change, because every 3 months, the collective consciousness shifts its energy. And so it goes one way or another. But as of right now, going into 2026, that's what he's showing me for the planet. The other places that there are war, like there's some civil wars going on within the countries, I don't see those ending. It's like they continue. There's still a lot of old energies that are being transmuted. So because we're going into this new 9-year cycle, you'll notice that some politicians will be leaving office, or they'll be some political leaders will be removed or will leave because we're starting a new 1 year in a 9-year cycle. It's like year 1 of a 9-year cycle. So it's like new beginnings. So you will notice around the world that some of these leaders will be removed. And he's showing me that how you'll know they're on their way out is they'll start coming undone. They're going to start to attack their inner circle. So he's showing me it's like the people that were their support system, he'll begin starting to take them down, or she'll begin starting to take them down. There's different leaders around the world that will start to, it's almost like, well, if I can't have this, if I know I'm going down, that I want to take everybody down with me. There'll be a little bit of that I'm seeing. As of right now, where everything's vibrating at, it's people will start to come undone, and it's almost like a tantrum, like he's showing me like kids playing at school and they're in a sandbox and they're fighting over toys and they're throwing a tantrum that somebody took their toy. It's kind of like that energy. It's, yeah, there's some areas around the world that the leaders are going to start to come undone because the people around them are stepping more into their power or more into their truth, or they're speaking up, or they're not allowing certain things anymore, and they're putting a stop to things in different ways. Like he's showing me that there's people are having new awarenesses that it's not just two ways. It's not just right or wrong. It's not just this way works or this way doesn't. There's going to be a third option, fourth option, fifth option, that they're going to start having awarenesses that there's more than one way to do something. So it's like, oh, there's more than one way to stop this person from harming us. There's more than one way to stop this politician from taking us all down. There's more than one way to stop this system from harming people anymore. There's more than one way to get back what somebody's taken. So you're going to notice that the collective consciousness, like the humans as a population, the people that aren't in politics, are going to start standing up and having a voice in different areas and bringing in new ways to do things or to change things. And they're going to be doing a lot of those silently, behind the scenes. They're changing things behind the scenes that isn't known to the public, that's not known to the politicians, that's not known to the collective. They're just saying, okay, I'm going to start something new and just forget about what's going on over there. And as they build what they're starting, so these communities or these new businesses or new ways of doing something, they start to rise up, and it kind of shocks people in the third dimension reality that are really like focused on taking people down, or they're focused on how can we disrupt things or how can we shatter everything. These quieter groups of people around the planet that are just going and starting their own thing, their own communities, their own realities. And then it's just going to kind of come out of nowhere that all of a sudden these groups of people have risen up and have supporters and people supporting them, and it becomes more strong or more powerful than the other systems that we've been run by for so many centuries. It's like the other systems start to collapse because the humans on planet Earth, the people that aren't in politics, start to create their own thing in their own way. And so yeah, so we'll be seeing some of that happening, but it's sort of, he's showing me it's behind the scenes. A lot of things are happening. He's showing me that as one generation's on their way out, the next generation's focus is totally different. So the people running the countries now, there's a lot of older energy, old paradigms, and they're going to be like, their focus isn't so much on, you know, having control, like this new generation that's coming in to run countries, to take care of the planet. Their focus is a lot on global warming and sustaining our foods and environment. And so the whole focus is going to shift over the next like 20 years. It's going to change drastically as the old dissolves and is on its way out. So he's showing me that people in third dimension on planet Earth are going to have more awareness on what is in their food. So he's showing me that the people that are eating a lot of boxed foods or processed foods, they're going to be noticing that the taste changes. So it's like, oh, my cereal tastes a little bit like cardboard, or I'm eating this processed food that I put in the microwave and I taste some kind of chemical, or this tastes like perfume, or my milk tastes like sour, but it's not sour, it hasn't expired, or this piece of fruit that I'm eating tastes like mold. And they're going to start to ask questions of why, and there's going to be more big box food chains being investigated or coming out with like exposure of like these chemicals. He's showing me like endocrine disruptors that are in the foods, or forever chemicals, chemicals that make you addicted to things. So there's going to be a lot of processed food chains, like, but big chains. The big box companies are going to start to crumble in different areas of what they're hiding in their food. So people are going to have more awarenesses of that. And the fast food chains, like I'm seeing like really popular fast food chains, like something happening with one or two of them where people start to feel sick. They start to, either there's like a bacteria or something going around and people start getting sick. I don't know if it's from the chemicals or bacteria, but it's like these fast food chains, in order to see the truth behind them, like things are going to happen in a few of the big ones to get people to let go of some addictions, or to awaken people to that they're being tricked. All of this is to help people awaken. So every area on planet Earth, there's going to be like more collapsing as per usual. And so this is just some ways it's going to collapse. He's also showing me like hunters hunting, going out hunting for sport and not for sustainability. So there's a lot of hunters that are hunting animals just for fun. And he's showing me, I had a premonition dream a while ago, and it was like the animals were coming out of the woods and they were disorientated. They had some kind of brain disease, and different bacteria's going into some of the animals in the forest, and they get sick. And so the people that are hunting, they can no longer eat their meat. Because of this, the governments will start to put more restrictions on who can hunt and where they can hunt. And so this will cut down on some of the using it for sport, or taking an animal's power just simply for the fun of it. Because he's showing me there's a lot of hunters that they'll go out and shoot an animal and they just end up leaving it there. And it's more about power taking. So there'll be more limitations on what hunters can do. And I see this happening like over the next few years. Like it might not be immediate, but just gradually, there's just more things with our food. There's going to be more like foods that are more mechanical or like copied, like fake meat. I think there's like 3D meat printing or something. He's showing me it's like the meat's going to be made from copying the DNA or something. So yeah, so changes with our food and sustainability and animals, and yeah, there's a lot of areas that are being changed there on planet Earth. And what we're heading towards is more awareness and more people like having their own farms, or sustainability with their own, like, you know, having their own chickens or eggs. This isn't new. This has been happening for a while. It's just going to increase a little bit as we go through 2026. And for the medical system, there's going to be a lot of medical breakthroughs for genetics. So they're taking genes and changing like genes that have mutations or polymorphisms, and they're fixing them. So this is in the medical field. I do see a lot with the endocrine system, like maybe some thyroid issues that get corrected through this way. A lot of diseases, right at the center of it is this genetic defect, whether it's from chemicals in processed foods or chemicals in the air, hormone disruptors. There's a lot of factories that send out a lot of chemicals into the air, and people are breathing these in, and they're causing a lot of disruptions in our genes, and then therefore they end up having like autoimmune diseases or cancers. And there's going to be a lot of breakthroughs with that. And also I am going to be doing a video on doing spiritual alchemy for gene mutations or gene polymorphisms or chromosome defects. So I'll be doing that in January so that you can start to do spiritual alchemy on that if you're interested to heal your own body. And there's going to be a lot more AI use with medical systems and helping diagnose like quicker, faster, new body scans. AI is really stepping up, like bioengineering. I do see a lot of breakthroughs with AI for the medical system, taking the pressure and the load off because there's just not enough doctors or nurses or healthcare, and it really relieves a lot of the pressure off of the medical system, helping to lift some of the struggle and suffering from the medical issues. And for the financial and economical systems on planet Earth in 2026, I'm still seeing a lot of areas that St. Germain is showing me that haven't yet transmuted, like the poverty thinking, the old poverty beliefs in the ancestral lines and the DNA. And so you'll still see a lot of that, but then there's this uprising of humanitarian assistance in the sense that these new and next generations, they do not want to see everyone being poor. They want to see everyone as having an equal amount. So as the older generations are leaving, like over the next 10, 20 years, these newer generations are going to be dissolving that, so that he's showing me it's more like universal basic incomes, or moving completely to digital money instead of cash money, and going into a lot of countries getting like a universal basic income, or some cryptos that assist people, like they help with homelessness. And there's a lot more of compassion from these next generations of getting everyone so that nobody will be homeless. And so even though there's a lot of it going on the planet right now, it's just really deep old energies that haven't been transmuted. Eventually it will be going into more equality, like more treating everybody equally. He's also showing me that there'll be new ways that the next generations are going to be helping with homelessness that we haven't thought of yet, that hasn't been brought up yet, and it will be more of empowering and more assistance for homelessness. So he's showing me that over the next several years that it's going to be changing so that nobody is going to be homeless and be struggling and suffering for food. But he's also showing me the gift in going through homelessness, or the gift in going through poverty or not having enough. It transmutes a lot of past lifetimes and it expands the consciousness. So there's some people on the planet that their spirit has chosen homelessness or poverty in order to transmute and expand their consciousness, and their spirit is creating the experience for their highest good. As those get transmuted from a collective consciousness vision or experience, collectively as we do this. Over the next several years, that will stop because everybody's transmuted it. So there's a lot of souls on the planet that are still creating it because they haven't yet transmuted it, and they're coming to play the game of that role in order to experience it and transmute it within them. So over the next several years, as the older generations move out, these newer generations that are going to be leading, he's showing me that their focus isn't so much on work, but more on experience and going within. And so you'll notice that the work weeks will get shorter. There will be more abundance in working from home. There'll be more jobs available through AI or digital and focusing on working from home. And there'll be more places that will allow you to kind of work around your own schedule. So more of those jobs will be getting created, and AI is going to replace a lot of the jobs that are labor intensive. So it's going to move into more spending time with your family and friends and really enjoying life experience rather than struggling and working hard to get ahead. It's going to be more relaxed, more Zen, more meditation, more yoga, more activities that are calming instead of this I've got to get things done, or this pressure to finish things, deadlines. And so it's going to be changing and shifting through each generation, and the focus won't be so much on getting ahead. It's going to be seeing everything as more equal. Like, that's why you see there's a lot of gender changes with identity and genders, and letting go of the attachment of certain identities that have been collapsing over the past 10 years, with people letting go of attachments to genders and letting go of attachments to like brands. There's a lot of children that are on the planet now, and they won't wear anything with a brand name on it because they know who they are. They're saying, I came to planet Earth and I know who I am and I'm enough. I don't need to wear a brand name of somebody else's. I don't want to be branded. And so you'll notice he's showing me over the next several years, there's more individuality, there's more autonomy, and more people showing up for themselves, and also showing their gifts and their talents and not being afraid to. And so they are stepping into doing things their own way. And so there'll be more of that in the future. So this was our read for 2026. If you're going to be in a third dimension reality, that's kind of how it will look. Things will be moving a lot faster because the energies will be ping-ponging. And so more accidents or natural disasters will come in faster, but you don't have to be part of that. You can be in your fifth dimension reality and be enjoying that. So I did a part 1 on this, and this is part 2, and I'm going to be doing a part 3 to give more assistance on how to get into fifth dimension. Like St. Germain's going to give more tips on that. So thanks for joining us today. Have a great holiday. We'll see you next time.